It's your boy CoreyB. So what I want to talk about right now is just the idea of researching when it comes to your business. A lot of people think, okay, there's a lot of things that I want to unpack in this concept, so bear with me, okay? So first of all, we've talked about before about the idea of outsourcing and being able to have more than just yourself. As you're growing your business, if you want your business to be bigger and more viable, ultimately you can't do everything by yourself. You are but one person. That's it, one person. And one person can't be everywhere at all times and get all things done. So you've got to have resources, man. You've got to have partners, got to have helpers, sometimes employees, sometimes just contractors or contract labor, thing like that, that just do a job for the moment. Okay, now when doing that, as I've told you, people have this idea that outsourcing bad. Outsourcing is not a dirty word. It's absolutely viable. It's vital to having a viable company. It's crucial for efficiency and production. And it doesn't matter what kind of company you have. It doesn't matter if you're doing digital marketing, if you're doing all web-based business, or if you're doing a tangible product. Whatever you're doing, you definitely are not going to want to do this by yourself. Now, in the beginning, yes, you're going to give everything you've got. You're going to put yourself out there, and you're going to like work 32 hours a day. Obviously, that's not possible, but that's what it feels like. It feels like you never breathe. Okay, but as it starts to progress, you need to start outsourcing. A key example of what I'm doing right now, like when I was reselling, what got me into reselling in the first place was I was a contract laborer. I was a contract employee. I was working for my uncle. Contracted me to help him with his business, and as I helped him with his business, and I had another guy who ended up, I got a reference from my uncle to help another guy with his business, and there was some other people who contracted me out for these things, you know, different things when I was in college. And then it got me to the point that I was like, you know what, I can do this. I can absolutely do this myself. And so, like I said, I used contract labor to continue to supplement my income and things like that as I developed more skills, and people that I had understood and could see that I had a mind for business, and I could help them organize their business and grow and develop their business in other ways. And then I decided that I could do more. Something that I'm doing myself right now is I've recently, if you've been following me for a minute, I had another YouTube channel. It's now called, it used to be just my name, but it's now called the Bayless Boys. And Corey and Colton have pretty much taken over that channel. That's their channel now. Well, it's our family channel. But that's just where we post family content now. But initially I was posting my business content, you know, like kind of business and life coaching and, you know, motivational and, you know, investment type advice and things like that is where I started. So if you were watching back then, thank you for being a long-term subscriber. And if you haven't, you can go back and see some great content on that video. Again, it's Bayless Boys on YouTube. But as I grew that channel, and as we hit the road, went traveling, and the boys started wanting to make more videos, it got to the point that I needed to have a separate channel for my business and my family life. So that's what we did. And I had a great, I've got a great YouTube manager right now who manages the channels and makes sure to help me with a lot of different aspects of editing and things like that, and making sure it's, you know, SEO optimized, and make sure that it's getting out there, and that it's efficient and it's productive. Okay, so he's helping me a lot with marketing, he's helping me with editing, and he's helping me to make sure that every week I'm on track, you know? And that's great. And the thing is when I found him, I'm on several business platforms. And so I had multiple people actually reach out to me, and they're like, hey, we could help you with your growing channel. You've got some content that's really great, but it's just not, you know, being as lucrative and as efficient yet. And I had, you know, checked into a couple of these people, and as I checked into their credentials and things like that, it just was a little fuzzy for most of them. It was a little fuzzy. I mean, everybody nowadays can get online. They can set up a social media platform. They can, for fairly cheap, you can set up business accounts. You can set up business profiles on several platforms now, and there's little key things that you can notice whether these things are actually valid or they're just saying that there's something that they're not. And that's a big problem, is more and more people have tried to go into self-employment or entrepreneurialism, things like that. You've got a lot of people who simply set up a profile on Instagram, on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on any of these platforms. They'll set up a profile and claim that they've got skills that they may not necessarily have. They'll give themselves a title that you've got to like validate. Like, are they actually good at what they say they're good at? Are they doing what they say they're doing? So that's where you've got to go back and see, well, do they have reviews? If they've got reviews, can you validate those reviews? Can you follow up? Can you see where those are coming from? Can you see the productivity that they've had? When I found the guy who's managing me now, he's incredible. Russell, he's amazing. He's a great guy. He's really friendly, really personable, and he's really effective and really efficient. And like I said, he reached out to me. When he reached out to me through a business platform, he found my business profile and was like, hey man, look, check out my profile. And I was like, okay, I looked at it. It looked really good. And then he was like, you know, let's talk about your channel. And I was like, okay, let's talk about it. And then he ran down a lot of the analytics. And I was like, okay, all right. So he ran down a lot of the analytics, and he ran down, you know, the SEO analytics and how the marketing is, and, you know, and how much my channel is actually being seen versus how much it needs to be seen in order to be productive. Okay, now this was a great thing. It absolutely showed that he knew what he was talking about. And then when I had any follow-up questions, he was like, look, check it out. How about let's jump on a Zoom call and let's discuss these things. So I jumped on a Zoom call with him. We spent about an hour. He discussed things with me. He discussed things actually with my boys as well, which was really cool because they have a channel, even though they, at the time, were 7 and 8. They have a channel. So he talked to them and talked to me and talked about a lot of the things that he wanted to do with our channel and the way he wanted to market us and, you know, get us optimized. And I was like, okay, great. This is cool. And so then he also sent me references to these other channels that he worked on. And when he gave me the other channels that he worked on, I followed up. I checked out these channels. Then I checked out those channels that left him reviews on his page. Okay, this is what you've got to do. You really got to follow, you know, a trail. Okay, a lot of people, and this is another flaw that, like I said, I want to unpack a lot of things in this. So when people research, they're like, oh, well, this guy says he's a logo designer. This guy says he's a YouTube manager. This guy says he's into marketing. This guy says he can do, you know, different kinds of advertisements, or he can do Facebook ads, or he's great with Google, or he's great with, you know, I don't know, different digital graphic programs and stuff. So you see these people who just put this, people have this title, oh, I'm a business coach. You know how many life coaches are out there that have absolutely zero experience in life coaching? But they put their thing out there on Instagram, then they have all these little quotes and these cool things that ultimately were never said by them. Now, if you look at my Instagram, my business profile on Instagram, I have lots of quotes on there that are not mine. Absolutely. But first of all, underneath those quotes is my perspective on said quote. So I think there's a lot of great people out there. There's a lot of great people who say a lot of great things, and not every great thing is going to be spoken by me. Obviously not. I'm not the only brilliant mind out there. There's lots of us. Now, with that being said, every third post on mine is my face, because what am I marketing on Instagram? I'm marketing me. So every third post is me. The two in between, sometimes they're a quote, sometimes they're of my inventory, sometimes they're of my work, sometimes they're this, that, or whatever, but every third is my face. And when you see my face underneath, it's some perspective. It's like either a quote from me, or it's perspective of mine about something that I'm thinking at that particular moment, that I'm like, you know what? This is what I've been thinking about my business. This is what I've been thinking about life. This is where I am in the journey, okay? So when you see these Instagrams and they claim to be or like I said, anywhere, LinkedIn, Instagram, any of the platforms, you see these profiles and they claim to be a business coach, a life coach, a marketer, or any of these things. Follow up. Like, because anybody can do that. Anybody can build a thing now. Not only that, the really crazy thing is because of free speech, free press, and the web that is so easy now. There was a time at which the internet was new and the internet was challenging. Like, you had to understand HTML, you had to do all these different things. You had to like really have a grasp on either coding or digital or copywriting or something. You had to really grasp something in order to be successful on the internet, because not everybody could do it. Now the internet's so easy. It's like every platform has a template for you. Every platform has a like, look, get started easy. We'll do it all for you. All you do is tell us what you want and we'll just push it through. Oh, you want it advanced? $9.95, and we can advance it, make it even bigger and fancier and all this. And that's on every platform now. Not to mention that if you want to set up a blog, or if you want to set up a website. See, used to, you had to have some kind of, again, HTML background or some kind of coding background to develop a website. Now, you don't need any of that background. Just go to like Google online and it'll set up web templates. And it's like all you do is copy and paste and it builds your website for you. Now, of course, your website will not be as advanced as many of the others. Your website will not be as fancy as some of the others. Maybe not even be as efficient, because you may copy and paste some things in the weird spot and it'll make weird things happen. At the end of the day, what my point is that anybody and everybody, there are 10-year-olds out there who are designing websites nowadays. There are 10-year-olds out there who have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikToks. They have all these platforms that even the children are on, and they can say anything they want. Wikipedia, which is simply a, you just go on there, you click here, add post, and you can add a page for anything that's never had a page before, which is rare now these days. I think there's a page for just about everything. But if there isn't a page for it, you can make a page for it. And if there's already a page, you can go in there as anyone. I can just get on there right now and edit a page. And I can make something say whatever I want it to say. So when you just Google and you search and you get online and you find anything, that's not research. And the reason I say all this is because you get online and you see people who's got these platforms and they talk about the things that they're skilled at, and you talk about the things they're good at and the things that they're doing, and you see the things that people are doing and you see the things that people are claiming that they've done. They're claiming expertise in. They're like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm whatever. It's like, you can't just trust that. You've got to follow up, because, like I said, ultimately, you need to be optimized. You need to be efficient. You need to be productive. And you need people and resources to help you get there. But you need to be sure that when you spend your money and you hire these contractors, you hire these developers, you hire these marketers, these advertisers, anyone, if you're going to spend money on it, you've got to get your money's worth. You've got to know what you're buying into. It's got to be worth it. You've got to not lose your money when you invest in growing your business. That's tricky. That's tricky. So what I'm hoping that you can take away from this is, what kind of business are you growing? What kind of business do you have right now? In which direction is it growing? Do you need to branch out into new avenues? Do you need more productivity? Do you need more production? Do you need more advertising? Do you have all the production flowing and everything's working great, except you're not having enough sales? If that's the case, then you need better marketing. And if you need better marketing, do you know someone who's good at this? If you don't know someone, if you know someone, great, maybe they can help you. Maybe you can contract them in. That's how I got a lot of my early contract labor was because somebody knew me and they knew that I had a mind for things. So they're like, hey, Corey, can you help me out with this? I'm like, absolutely, let's get in on this. I had a couple of people that I went to school with that were the same way. I had a business partner early on, about 22 years ago. Good gosh. First business partner. And the way we got most of our work was because people knew him and people knew me, and they knew that he had some skill sets and I had some skill sets. He had skills in some marketing and could just sell just about anything. And I had skill sets in like business development and productivity and stuff. And so because we had these skill sets, people would be like, hey, can you help us with this? Can you help us with that? So if you know someone who has a skill set, put them to work. That's beneficial for the both of you because they need the work and you need optimization. So that's what you got to do. You've got to... There's a guy, my partner Z, me and him have been investing together for a long time, and I'm learning. We've been trading. We did Forex and things like that. And lately he's turned me on to a new platform, a new way of trading, and he has confidence in my skill set to be able to trade and to be able to, you know, elevate and make money, but also he knows that me and him have an open line of communication, that he's gonna learn from me skills while he's teaching me. Like, he's teaching me a new platform, so I'm learning so much. Like, the amount of things that I'm learning from him right now is just out of this world. But he's also learning from me. We're building each other up, and that's the way it should work. When you build your circle, when you build your business, when you build, you know, you've got to be, it's got to be a give and a take. Y'all got to be building each other up. You've got to be growing together. There's always more to learn. No matter how much you think you know, your business could be doing better. I mean, we can all look at people like, you know, Bezos and Musk and Bill Gates, and we see these people, Jobs. We saw these people and we looked at their companies and we're like, hey, you know, are they making the best possible choice? You can't argue with someone who's making billions of dollars, but at the same time, somebody somewhere disagrees with them, and somebody somewhere, there's a reason they put a board of directors together, and they're like, hey, all these decisions aren't going to be 100% mine because now my company is big enough that I need a team of brilliant minds. And at some point, at some level, hopefully your company is going to be there and you'll have a team of brilliant minds. But be just open to sharing those minds right now when you're in the early stages. So that way you can get to that big stage sooner. All right, I hope this has made sense. Like I said, I had a lot to kind of unpack, and I was trying to unpack it in a short amount of time. Like I said, the key is like I said before, be sure to outsource, but be sure to research your outsourcing. Know what's best for your company. Know you're getting the best possible contractors and employees and workers, and, you know, make sure you're doing the best that you can do for your business and for your company. Because if you're not going to do the best for your company, who is? It's all riding on you. It really is. At the end of the day, it's all you. All right, be sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe, ding that bell, get your notifications. Man, I hope you're taking away some things from this, and I really encourage all y'all to leave some comments below. Let's open a line of discussion. Like I said, I'm learning from people that I'm working with. They're learning from me. I can learn from you just as you can learn from me. So let's do this. Let's do this together. Let's rise each other up, lift each other up, get cocky, and have the most excellent. You've got to find those skills. You've got to find ways to grow your business, but be sure that you know that those skills are good and they're viable and they're